From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Stop.
Throwing on the first play from scrimmage, here's Burrow. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And part of why they came into this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this. And now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now, on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes...
his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
Now a short one to Gesicki, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Misdirection's the key on this play. They line up with 3 receivers to the opposite side of the tight end, and they're all going to work their way across the field and let the tight end slip underneath against flow the other way. They're banking that he can get lost, and that's exactly what happened as they pick up a first down.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down. The Bengals at 0-9 now on the year, and it has really been a slog.
And it's been such a struggle for them because they found no consistency anywhere. Special teams has let them down. Often
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 36 yards on the play.
It's not often that you'll find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
And the Vikings are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Howell. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Touchdown! A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
On 2.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Here we go, here we go.
And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
This defense for the Vikings, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Now it's Burrow. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. You look at this defense for the Vikings. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Burrow looking to pass. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the 1st down.
Here we go.
To the air again, Burrow. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. In motion comes the tight end left. Now Burrow. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked by Jeff Okudah. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2. I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
He's going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here we go.
Here's Howell. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Let's go.
And Howell will throw it. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Howell from the gun. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And this will remain a one-touchdown game. The Bengals drive about to get going. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
He finds his man, Pollard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Here we go.
Burrow will throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Vikings are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. With a play fake, and now here's Howell to throw it. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And
he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Bengals are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And his throw here is incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Well, this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Oh, Hal loses it, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Howell, he'll look to throw it. That is incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Here we go.
Throwing here, Howell. Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 49 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. He's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. There for the sack, B.J. Hill. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Howell out of the shotgun. Open man here, Schwartz, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
That is caught. And he will have a Vikings first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Back to throw. Howell. This is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Anthony Schwartz. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have taken the lead. The point after is good. And that makes the score 14-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, trying to tie this football game. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Here's Burrow. They set up the screen for Henry. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. That's to his running back, complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
On 1, ready?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. 11.
Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 11.
Now it's Burrow. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A 1-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunity.
Puts it on the carpet. It's out. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So we thought maybe they would have a chance to extend this lead on the opening drive of the second half. Instead, they cough it up.
Obviously not an ideal start when you're trying to get a little separation, and I can guarantee that they talked about that in the locker room. Let's get out there, start this quarter the right way. Put some points on the board and create some space.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go, here we go.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Here we go. 11, Thomas. Zahat.
He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at about the 14. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Powell down to throw it. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Faking the handoff, Howell. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. Now Howell. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Now the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
On one, ready?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And he's going to have the hook up to Schwartz. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Here we go, set.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get nothing out of that one.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Let's go.
Howell. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
So 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, it's Howell. That's down the field for Jefferson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
Well, it's pretty evident that that's not the way you want to try and establish momentum ahead of a possible 4th quarter comeback because you needed points there, at least something to build on for your next series. That was neither. Instead, it's a huge play for a defense that now has no doubt it can finish this game off.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 82 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Howell.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Operating from the gun. Howell.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 27-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
79 Broncos.
Here's Howell.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield, because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Trey Hendrickson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Howell. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 17 yards out.
And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
Oh, and a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
Let's get set. 11.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
Don.
Now it's Burrow. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
On 1, ready? Here we go. Don.
Now Burrow.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And now here's another interception.
Jacorian Bennett has it.
20. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there.
His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter.
Now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
To be frank, you really have to feel for them. This is appearing to not be their week yet again. So another loss in the cards as they trail big in quarter number 4.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
11 MT tight. Here we go, here we go.
Burrow looking to pass. And my goodness, another interception.
Jacorian Bennett has it inside the 10.
And he will take this one.